Today, I'll be breaking down a Japanese mystery thriller film titled Honor Student. Beware of spoilers. Stay alert and take care. The story begins at Ichikawa High School in a quiet Japanese town. Senior students are receiving their latest test scores. Among them is Miyamoto Asuka, a cheerful yet academically weak student. Despite the test being the easiest so far, she gets every answer wrong and scores 0. Her boyfriend, Yoshida, sees the bright side, saying that 0 is Asuka's lucky number. The teacher scolds them, warning Asuka that if she doesn't start studying, her future looks grim. Soon, another history test begins, one that Asuka dreads. The first question asks for the name of a monument known for granting wishes when a coin is offered. Clueless, she writes a random Namigakmo. The moment she writes it, a bright light flashes outside the window. Somewhere in the city, a mysterious jungle path appears out of nowhere. The next day, while walking to school, Asuka and Yoshida notice the newly formed path. Though they don't recall it existing before, their curiosity gets the best of them, and they decide to explore. After a short walk, they find a shrine with an unpronounceable name. Asuka tosses in a coin and wishes to score 100 on her next test. They return to school, thinking little of their adventure. When the previous test results are handed back, Asuka scores 5 out of 100. Frustrated, she regrets believing in the shrine's power. That day, the class has another quiz, this time on world politics. The first question asks for the current Japanese Prime Minister's name. Asuka, having no clue, writes Yoshida's name instead of leaving it blank. She doesn't know the rest either, so she takes a nap instead. After school, Asuka and Yoshida go to her house. As they enter, they hear her parents arguing. Her father, a salesman, is about to be laid off, while her mother is having an affair with a younger man. Ignoring them, Asuka takes Yoshida to her room. On the way, he notices dishes left outside Adaoro Asuka's twin brother, Keisuke's, room. Once a top student who never scored less than full marks, Keisuke shut himself away after failing his high school entrance exam. Now, he isolates himself, spending all his time on the computer. Talking about Keisuke saddens Asuka, so Yoshida heads to the supermarket to get them something to eat. Meanwhile, their teacher grades test papers. Suddenly, the shrine glows, as do his glasses. Moments later, Asuka calls Yoshida, wondering why he's taking so long. He hurriedly tells her he's busy and can't hang out. Right after, she receives a message from a classmate how Yoshida is in big trouble. It turns out Yoshida has been selected as Japan's prime minister. News of him posing for cameras as the new leader goes viral. The next day, Asuka arrives at school, baffled by how her grocery shopping boyfriend became prime minister overnight. There are also reports of world leaders mysteriously disappearing. The teacher hands back their graded papers and smiles as he gives Asuka hers. Shockingly, she scores full marks despite leaving most answers blank. Looking closer, she realizes that Yoshida became prime minister simply because she wrote it. Likewise, other leaders vanished because she left the rest blank. The shrine granted her wish, but not in the way she expected. Now, the world changes to ensure her perfect score. To fix her mistake, she researches the correct answers and rewrites them. Thankfully, the plan works. Yoshida is fired from office on his first day, and the missing presidents reappear, restoring normalcy. Soon, another test approaches. This time, Asuka isn't worried, believing a math test won't drastically alter reality. After school, Yoshida meets her and vents about losing his job. Asuka calms him before confessing her strange ability. He's skeptical and challenges her to prove it. Before she can, a nearby tower starts shaking because of a mistake she made in the math test. They rush to the teacher's office to correct the error, stabilizing the tower. Experts on TV fail to explain what caused the phenomenon. That evening, Asuka and Yoshida visit the shrine, but it has disappeared. Unable to recall its name, they have no way to find it again. Now, Asuka realizes the only way to prevent disasters is to study hard and get every answer right. Determined, She sits down to study that night only to fall asleep minutes later. In the next scene, Asuka and Yoshida wait outside the teacher's office as he grades their latest test. She scores full marks again but hopes it doesn't drastically alter reality. At home, her father excitedly announces that he made the biggest sale of his career. It turns out Asuka unknowingly wrote that tap water is the world's most valuable energy source. This led to a surge in water purifier sales, making her father successful. Though startled, she decides to let things be after seeing his happiness. Later, news reports riots worldwide over water shortages. As things spiral out of control, Asuka quickly corrects the test paper, restoring order. Then, she gets an idea to fix her parents' marriage. In the next test, she's asked the name of an astronaut about to embark on a long space journey. She writes her mother's boyfriend's name, sending him to space the next day. With him gone, her mother rekindles her marriage. Asuka's life improves, but one problem remains: her twin brother, Keisuke. On the next test, she writes that he will come out and greet everyone, but instead of Keisuke, their father bursts into his room, dragging him out, sparking a heated family argument. Her father is again at risk of losing his job, and her mother returns to texting other men. Realizing her power only provides temporary fixes, Asuka decides to genuinely reconnect with Keisuke. Since he's still an academic genius, she studies outside his door daily, making intentional mistakes to provoke his corrections. For days, he ignores her. Then, one day, she skips a tough math problem, and Keisuke finally speaks, teaching her how to solve it. With his guidance, Asuka starts studying seriously, even though they only communicate through a closed door. Over time, her father reads books on sales strategies, putting more effort into his job, and her mother deletes her lover's numbers, focusing on family. A week later, Asuka scores full marks without her power. She runs to tell Keisuke, but he still refuses to come out. The next morning, Asuka and her parents are having breakfast when Keisuke finally joins them, greeting them warmly. He apologizes for giving up and vows to do better. One day, on their way to school, Asuka and Yoshida find her torn test paper in her bag. As she pieces it together, a portal to the shrine appears. Only then does she realize she wrote about a wish-granting shrine named Gakumo on her first test. That must have made it real. They rush to the shrine, pleading to undo her wish and reset the world. Nothing happens, leaving them disheartened. At school, another test begins, this time on world geography. Suddenly, Asuka remembers that the shrine only granted wishes when a coin was offered, meaning, to reverse everything, she must retrieve the coin. She quickly finishes the test and hurries to the shrine. The coin is inside a locked chest. Using a stick, she tries to retrieve it, almost succeeding. Meanwhile, Keisuke and their parents have a heartfelt conversation about his future. He's excited to move forward, and their mother sincerely apologizes for her mistakes. At the same time, Asuka's teacher grades the latest test. As usual, she scores full marks. Just then, she accidentally drops the coin back into the chest. A bright light engulfs her. Seconds later, the entire world is empty. Every human has vanished. In the final scene, Asuka's last test question is revealed. What is the current world population? Since she left it blank, humanity ceases to exist. Subscribe for more content, turn on notifications, and drop a like to support the channel. Thanks for watching.